I don't usually make videos this late at night, but I heard this on the radio driving home from a funeral, no less. So thanks for that. And this just really pissed me off. So I was annoyed about Brexit. That I didn't agree with it. It's proven to be crap. You know, you move on with your life. I was annoyed when Trump got into power the first time, and he fucked up so badly. I thought there is no way this twat gets in again, because it was just insane. He won the election again at his next attempt, and it just proved to me that America are so dumb. You are stupid, and I'm sorry. I try and I try and I try to find some middle ground, try and find some grey area, but it just proves to me that you lot would rather hire, well, say hire, you'd rather have a bigot, a narcissist, and a liar, and a cheat, and probably a rapist be in charge of you and run your country than a woman. That is how backwards your fucking country is, and this just really tipped me off. So obviously if you haven't been living under a rock, you're aware that the Ukraine is at war with Russia. And I will point out that Russia invaded Ukraine. Despite what Trump says, we live in the real world. He lives in his own fucking Delulu land, backed by his fucking cronies and people who are just too weak and pathetic to stand up to him because he's the president. Fuck you and fuck Elon Musk. I'm usually... I can't anymore. I usually try and be quite level-headed and respectful to all parties despite me disagreeing with them. But I can't in this case because we cannot tolerate this any longer. Good, honest people cannot tolerate this behaviour any longer. World War III, I think, is closer than ever before. And the evidence is right in front of your eyes. And you're all just going, no, don't see it. And it's a fucking joke. And we need to stand up as a people. And as Americans, I really hope you lot do something. Because it isn't just you lot he's affecting anymore. It was bad enough when he removed caps for insulin and things like that. It's bad enough when he hired people in charge of departments that haven't got a fucking clue what they're about. He did that in his first term. It's way worse this time, and it's being proven. It's bad enough that he's got Elon Musk, who, no offence, has no fucking business being in the Oval Office, of all places, giving a fucking press conference while he sits there like a cuck. But you know what? You could probably laugh at a lot of that, apart from the insulin thing. You could probably laugh at the incompetence if it wasn't so damaging. Not just damaging to Americans who voted for him, but damaging to Americans who didn't, and now it's damaging the world. He's having talks. America have arranged talks with Russia, not including the Ukraine. Peace talks, apparently, but they're not peace talks. It's a I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of situation. And the fact that they don't even include Ukraine is insane. But this is what I heard. So Donald Trump calls President Zelensky a dictator after the Ukraine started the war with Russia. Quite a few lies there. Now, the reason that my understanding is that he called Zelensky a dictator is because he is not allowing elections. I'm not Ukrainian, yet I'm aware that in their constitution, I know Trump, other places have constitutions, that there can be no elections during wartime. And I'm pretty sure Zelensky has said he will step down after the war and after Russia leave. Because so far, they refuse to. They've taken over parts and they're not going to give that up. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand where you've gotten they started the war with Russia. They didn't start the war with Russia. They were invaded. They were defending themselves. And that's perfectly reasonable, I find. But let's read a little bit about this, because this really has pissed me off, because I can't tolerate the lies anymore. It was bad enough, when COVID hit and he was president during that. Bear in mind, he did a terrible job of managing that. I think the UK did too. Don't get me wrong. Quite a few countries really fucked up. But none of them really lied about it in the way he did. And still thinks that the United States is respected. Just a newsflash, you're not. You're actually not. You are despised. You are embarrassing to listen to. You and JD Vance. I mean, his speak in Germany kind of spells volumes, really, doesn't it? And if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's actually fucking hilarious. But anyway, Donald Trump has branded Zelensky a dictator after the Ukrainian head of state said the US president was living in a Russian disinformation space. He's literally spouting Russian propaganda, which is really funny, considering, not too long ago. I thought the United States didn't like communism, but whatever. And he wrote on his own social media, by the way, his own one, because why the fuck not? Because it's his own little fucking chamber. His echo chamber, it's his own echo chamber. A dictator without elections, and warned that he needs to move fast or he's not going to have a country left. That sounds really threatening. And that part really, really got on my nerves. The USA has no fucking right, personally. You say you're backing out. You say you're not going to help them anymore. So why are you still involved? Get the fuck out. You can't have it both ways. Unless you're backing Russia now, which is, that's what it's looking like. You are backing Russia. The country led by a man, and bear in mind, I don't hate Russians. I think most of them are just trying to get on with their lives. I think the soldiers are only doing as they're commanded. The people in charge of Russia, Putin, are fucking ridiculous. They are tyrants. Putin, all his generals, his advisors, fucking tyrants. And potentially this is where World War III is coming from. Some people are saying, oh, he just wants the USSR back. Not good. I've heard an argument today that he's after the resources, the natural resources that the Ukraine have. Possibly, but none of this justifies it. None of it justifies it. Think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Zelensky. Zelensky was a comedian at one point, but you were also a reality TV star and you became president, so shut the fuck up. Talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won. That never had to start, but a war that he, without the US and Trump, will never be able to settle. Firstly, it could have been won. It still can be won. If the Allies had that fucking attitude in World War I, World War II, we wouldn't be here today. Or at the very least, we'd all be speaking a different fucking language, living under a different fucking regime. You love democracy so much, you're doing nothing to defend it. Nothing to defend it. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. He refuses to have elections, it's in their constitution, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only good thing he has is playing Biden like a fiddle. Kind of like Putin's playing you, mate. It's just absolutely embarrassing. His ego is that fucking fragile. And is that fucking bad. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off. It's shit like this that we cannot tolerate. The leader of the free world, apparently, is being a pussy and backing down. Nearly every single country believes that the Ukraine are in the right to defend their home. And I think that's perfectly reasonable. This will not stop with the Ukraine. You realise that, yeah? And I wish America would just get out of their own fucking way. They're led by a narcissist who has hired a bunch of incompetent billionaires who do not care about you. And are stripping away rights, affordability for your medicine, which is another conversation all in itself, but whatever. And they're framing it all as good. The shit Elon Musk posts on Twitter, yes, it's Twitter, not X, you fucking degenerate cunt, is all propaganda, lies, right-wing crap. The guy's fucking delusional. Trump's no better. But fuck me. The cunt's about to fucking ruin the world. And I don't care if, oh, another libtard's getting angry. Oh, we really riled up. We've owned those libs. I don't give a shit. Personally, if me standing up for other humans' right to live in their own fucking country in peace and to, not have a fucking warhammer come down on them and blow them to pieces, if me caring about that, if me wanting innocent lives to not be ruined makes me a libtard or a liberal, fucking great. Fucking great. I will wear that as a badge of fucking honour. I'm going to look at some comments because I know a lot of them are bots. But it's weird. What is a government that bans elections and will not hold one following the command of one man? Is it not a dictatorship? This is what the dictionary states. Blah, 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 blah. It also says in the constitution, if anyone fucking cared, that there cannot be any elections during wartime. And I'm really hoping a lot of people point this out. But fuck knows, I don't know. I mean, if you want to talk about dictatorship, what about when Trump lost the election and riled up his people to well, caused an insurrection on the US government, invaded the capital, and they all got off scot-free. That is your government. That is your democracy. Little land of the free. It's not land of the free, it's land of the racists and incompetent. And every 4 years, it just goes back to this crap. There used to be a time when the Republican Party in America was respected, and it had intelligent leaders, well-spoken, who may have disagreed with their opponents on fundamental issues, but they were civil. They were articulate about it. They were boring, yes, but they weren't this fucking crazy. They weren't perfect. No one is. They're just people. But for the love of fucking God, really? Listening to Trump's TV interviews is like listening to a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum. Now Zelensky has responded with facts which correctly challenge the misinformation of Trump's tirade yesterday. Trump has become more unhinged and therefore dangerous. Yeah. It's quite easy. Trump has seemingly blamed the Ukraine for the ongoing war and has said that they should have never started. They had to... What do you want them to do? Roll the fuck over? It's like Niraj's fucking comments a while back saying you don't poke the Russian bear. So what? We're supposed to just lie down and take it? People like this who claim they're patriotic for their country, they love their country, they'll do anything for it, are the weakest motherfuckers on the planet and will roll over the second it gets tough. I cannot stand them. They are twats and they just rile up the stupid. Because no offence, a lot of you are fucking stupid. A lot of people in this country, America, all over the world are dumb as fucking rocks. Don't get me wrong, I'm no genius, but I have common sense. And I can see a fucking lie and I can disprove lies when they're pointed out to me. Because guess what? You can research shit now. It's like that Batman image I saw the other day. They were claiming it was a hospital that migrants infiltrated in Birmingham. It was an image from The Dark Knight Rises. And the amount of people that believe that straight off the bat, with no research, is insane to me. Trump seemingly blamed the Ukraine. He didn't seemingly, he did, for the ongoing war and has said that they should have never started. The conflict with Russia at a press conference is Mar-a-Lago retreat in Florida on Tuesday. Why the fuck is he at Mar-a-Lago? He's the fucking president. What is he doing there so often? Why is he in Florida so often? He was disappointed that Zelensky complained about being left out of talks. Today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years ago. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine. That would have given them almost all the land, everything, almost all the land, and no people would have killed. No city would have been demolished. He's literally an egotistical narcissist who's talking out of his arse, and you're all fucking morons for believing it. I'm not one for getting angry, but this is just trash. I will very, very briefly describe, in my own opinion, why the fuck he's talking out of his arse. They should be invited because it's their fucking home. Abso-fucking-lutely, there should be no peace talks whatsoever without the Ukraine. That should just be a given. If anyone disagrees with that, you're delusional and you do not deserve to fucking have the 2 brain cells that are fighting for 3rd place. Piss off. So they should be there. You should have ended it it's been 3 years. They've been fighting for 3 fucking years. And they have tried to talk to Russia. And Russia have tried to talk to them. But they can't agree because Russia want everything. And the Ukraine just want to be left fucking alone. So piss off with that crap. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for the Ukraine that would have given them almost all their land. Right, almost all of their land. Firstly, all your deals that are shit. I saw this the other day. He was complaining about something that trade deals with Canada. And he was saying, like, he's come in the office and they're all so bad, they're terrible. Guess who made those deals? His administration last time he was in power. Criticising his own fucking deals without even knowing what he did is just top tier hilarity. It's fucking great. I love it. It's stupid upon stupid. No people would have been killed. They were killed the second Russian soldiers stepped onto their fucking land. This is an invasion. This is insane. The fact that the leader of the free world is honestly just a massive, narcissistical, egotistical, high school little bitch who just wants to fucking suck Daddy Putin's cock. I don't care. You cannot be tolerant of intolerance. The reason people hate Nazis, by the way, Elon Musk, you are fucking one. The reason people hate Nazis is because, well, apart from the obvious fucking reasons, is that we are not tolerant of them because they broke the social contract of tolerance. Okay? So I hear this a lot, like, oh, the Democrats or the liberals or the left, they're the people of tolerance, but they're not being very tolerant towards Nazis and me and blah, blah, blah. That is because your views are intolerant. If you are intolerant of another group, we are not tolerant of your beliefs, because it is bullshit. And it is so fucking ridiculous. If you don't like a certain group for whatever reason, that's your thing. But don't try and fucking come at us when we call you out on your shit. When people get called out on their racist, xenophobia, whatever it might be, the comments that they make, you are going to be called out. You should be called out. You should be fucking criticized to hell. Because it has no place in the modern world. It's always going to exist. I'm a firm believer of that. I'm a firm believer that we are so fundamentally flawed as a species, it's always going to exist. However, we have to stand up. And we have to speak up. Before shit gets worse. Because shit is going to get real hard, real fast. I think we're done. I think we are done being tolerant of this. And I think we have to do something. I'm glad Starmer stood up and said, we are going to help the Ukraine. Don't get me wrong, we can't do it by ourselves. Without the USA, it's kind of up in the air. But to say it's impossible? Absolutely fucking not. That is not what the Allied forces died for. That is not what our brave men and women in the world wars died for. That's not what they died protecting. Americans should be ashamed of themselves. Every single fucking one of you, for having this cunt in power. And for having these people run your country. You used to be respected. Not anymore. And I don't think you ever will be again in the same way. Not even close, regardless who you replace Trump with. If he ever decides to leave office. Because I also heard they're trying to get him a third term. I doubt that will actually pass. But the fact that shit's coming out of your country and people are like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Not every American obviously is bad. In the same way, not every Russian is bad. I will defend your right to say how you feel, to speak what you want. But I am done trying to find a middle ground for anyone who defends this man right here. Trump, Elon Musk, anyone in that kind of, JD Vance, anyone in that bracket. You speak up defending them for this kind of shit? Nope. Intolerance cannot be tolerated. If anyone does see this, if anyone does stick to the end, thank you for indulging my rant. And if you have comments, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know. If you are leaving a comment, be respectful. I will not respect Trump, and I will not respect Musk. I will not respect JD Vance. I will not respect America's viewpoint on this Ukrainian war. So if you want to call me out for my hypocrisy and saying, oh, well, you swore at them, you called them names, I'm not going to respond to that. If you have a genuine viewpoint, whether it be with or against mine, I'd love to hear it, as long as it is actually makes sense and is methodical.